If you're looking for a cheap but powerful expanded deck from Evolving Skies, then Volcarona might just be the deck for you. That's right, Volcarona from Evolving Skies is an incredibly powerful attacker, but it really only shines in the expanded format. This Pokemon has 210 HP for a basic V, which is pretty standard, but the main thing that I want to talk about is its attack. Surging Flames, it deals 20 damage for 1 fire energy. Doesn't seem that strong, but then we consider the effect of that attack, which is for every basic energy that we have in our discard pile, we deal an extra 20 more. And this is where the real fun begins, because if we get a ton of energy into our discard pile, Volcarona can really be taking knockouts on pretty much anything. So the question becomes, how can we get as much fire energy into the discard pile as possible? Well, we've got a number of different ways to do that. We have Volcanion-EX, which is an old favorite of mine from Steam Siege. It's a pretty old card now. I mean, you can get copies of this card, which is the max rarity, for 2 packs on PTCGO at the moment. It's pretty solid. Steam Up is the ability. Every turn, we can discard a fire energy from our hand, and if we do, we deal 30 more damage with our fire-type Pokemon's attacks for that turn. If we use both of our Steam Up abilities, because we have 2 Volcanion-EX in the deck, then that means we're dealing an extra 60 damage on top of the 2 fire energy that we've already discarded. So that's really, really good. How else can we discard energy? Well, I mean, we've got Zebstrika. This one's from Lost Thunder. It has the ability Sprint, which means that once during our turn, for every Zebstrika we have in play, we can discard our hand and draw 4 new cards. That means with a couple of Zebstrika, which is probably the amount that you're going to be looking at having, you can draw up to 8 new cards whilst discarding your hand every time. What we're going to try and do is we're going to try and have a ton of fire energy in those hands so that we can discard them with our Zebstrika and our Volcanion. Not only that, we also have the ever popular Battle Compressor, which can search your deck and discard 3 cards from your deck straight into the discard pile. We use this. This is essentially 60 damage with our Volcarona. We can search cards out with Fiery Flint. We also discard cards to search out our fire energy here, so there's some nice synergy. And we've got the classic Ultra Ball, which of course is coming back to the standard format really, really soon, which can discard 2 cards from our hand and then search for a Pokemon. 2 last final cards. There's a lot going on. It's expanded. There's always lots to do. We have a couple of Stadium cards that can also help us out. Scorched Earth means that we discard a fire energy from our hand and draw 2 cards. And we've also got Heat Factory Prism, which does the same thing, except we draw 3 cards instead. Now, once all of this energy has been discarded, we're going to be dealing a massive attack with our Volcarona. Then we shuffle those energies back into our deck, and then we try and discard them all again next turn so that we can have another big attack. Hopefully this deck works out for you. It's relatively rude and crude, but it gets the job done. I'm going to take it out onto the expanded ladder now and see if we can't get ourselves a solid game. So as we load into our game here, a couple of quick things to say. Firstly, this deck list, oh my god, look at this hand, this is absolutely atrocious. I mean, we'll Battle Compressor here and thin out some of these energies, and then I think we're going to have to just use the Dedenne with our Ultra Ball, right? We're going to have to just discard all of these energy cards and grab the Dedenne-GX, draw 6 fresh ones. That ought to do the job. As I said, this deck is seeing a bit of play at the moment over on LimitlessTCG.com. Not a great hand either. We can at least Scorched Earth. We'll just draw some cards here and see what we get. Volcarona and Fiery Flint. That's pretty good. I'm thinking what we're going to do is we're going to play the Volcarona down. We're going to play the Volcanion down. And then I think we can just retreat into the Volcarona and hopefully hold this hand. This seems fine. We can draw cards this way using our Scorched Earth, and we can discard extra fire energy. So we should be able to get a knockout on something next turn. Anyway, as I was saying, this deck has been doing quite well in some expanded tournaments over on LimitlessTCG.com. That's play.limitlesstcg.com. There's about 3 or 4 players who have been playing this deck in the limited expanded formats that we have had. So thank you very much to those people for playing that deck in those tournaments so that we can have a look at it. It is a fantastic one. I don't know who came up with the deck first, so I don't want to give credit to one specific person, but it's obviously a really strong concept. We're getting Marnied here, which is a bit unfortunate. But we've got a research, so it's not a problem. What we're going to do here... Oh, Quick Ball as well. That's pretty good. That means we can thin further. We'll fill our bench up, Quick Ball away the Blitzle, and then grab ourselves, I think, another Volcarona. I don't see us needing more than 2 this game. So let's research and go from there. We're playing up against Colossal. Very interesting. I think I can just take a knockout here, right? I'm going to be able to get plenty of energy in the discard pile. The question is there already enough in there? I mean, I think we can just Surging Flames and take the knockout, because we already had a ton. And there was 11, so that... Oh, 10, sorry. 10 energy. So we should be fine. Take that knockout there, take our first 2 prizes, and we are away. The second thing that I want to note is that this deck is wildly inconsistent. Alright, it requires you to discard a lot of energy, and it requires you to do that every single turn. So if you're looking for an expanded deck that's going to win every time, this is not the list for you. But if you're looking for something that's fun, and most importantly, that is relatively cheap, Volcarona's like a pack and a half, Volcanion-EX is a pack and a half, Zebstrika's like a pack. It's not too hard to pick these cards up, so a very, very cheap and affordable list for you. Back to the game. Colossal has 2 energy on it. That is going to be reducing the damage that we're dealing by 40. So it means we're going to need to deal a lot of damage. We're going to need to discard a lot of fire energies. We have plenty of fire energies in the deck. Obviously, we've shuffled in 10 already. We've got 2 in our hand and a battle compressor, so that's a minimum of 5 that are in the discard pile. But I do not think we are going to be likely to get a one-shot knockout on Colossal VMAX. Let's just have a think about it for a second. If we wanted to knock this thing out in one shot, we would need to discard 34 divided by 2, which is 17. 17 energy is going to be rough, considering we play 18 in the list. So we would need to discard all of them. And we would also need to ignore the fact that those 2 stone energy are on that Colossal, because obviously they're going to be reducing the amount of damage that we deal by 40. So it is physically impossible for us to get a knockout on the Colossal. Even if we get access to the Volcanion-EX next turn, it's not going to happen. So instead, we're just going to aim to half hit here. We're going to deal as much damage as we can. We want to deal as much damage as we can, but I'm not anticipating that we'll be able to get a one-shot. And that's just going to have to be the way that it is. Let's sprint. We've got 6 fire energies in the discard pile. This hand is very interesting in the sense that I don't really like it. We can Fiery Flint away the Guzma and the Quick Ball, and I think that's probably what I'm going to do. Just because that gives us a bunch of fire energy in our hand for next turn, so we can sprint it away, because we can grab 4 here off of this Fiery Flint, then discard 2 more with our Fiery Flint in hand. That will get us to a relatively respectable total in the discard pile, but more importantly, will give us 6 fire energy in hand for next turn. I'll attach 1 to the Volcarona just in case they knock me out, and I'll hit in here for an honest and respectable 140 damage. That would have been 180, so we're looking at what, 16, 8 energy in the discard pile in a turn. That's pretty good. I mean, it's not great, but it's definitely going to half hit this Colossal, and that's ultimately all we need to do. And next turn we can discard the 5 fire energies that are in our hands straight away with Zebstrika, so that will be no problems at all. And they've got the buff padding as well. That's brutal. Oh my god, this Colossal is so big, and it's very powerful, and Expanded Colossal is quite a good deck, and that is one of the good things about the expanded format for all those people that do exclusively play Standard, is that you get to see a lot of cards that aren't necessarily good in Standard doing their bit in the expanded format. There's same can be said about like Dark Box, a deck that's traditionally not been great in Standard is very powerful and expanded. Cards like Dragonite V are very powerful and expanded because you can pair them up with cards like ADP, which I know lots of people won't like, but you know what? Expanded's wild, wild west, right? You can play whatever you want out here. It's crazy, it's wild, we're fine. Anyway, this Mag Cargo will be putting a energy onto the top of the deck, I would imagine, and I imagine it's probably going to be a stone energy if they have any left, because Colossal VMAX will use Eruption Shot, and there is the stone. That will put 4 energy. Oh my god, we've top decked a research. Oh my god, okay. Just play the card. There goes 5. We've got so much more draw power than I thought we had now. Oh my goodness. Okay, we can one-shot this turn. If everything works out here, we should be able to take a one-shot knockout. Let's grab all of the energy that we can. We've got 4 in our hand. We've got Ultra Ball, so we can use that. Discard 2 cards, grab ourselves another Zebstrika. That's going to be very, very good. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to attach to the active Volcarona, I think, because it has 2 retreat. And that way I can use those 2 energies to get us up to 10, because we've got 8 in there already. We can sprint, which goes to 9. Then we have Heat Factory, and we have Fiery Flint. I'm 99% sure that we are going to be good to go here. Fiery Flint will grab us the last couple of energy out of the deck. I think there's only a couple. Yes, there is. There's only 2. I'm 99% sure that if we steam up here, we should be perfectly fine. We can just retreat into our Volcarona, and we've got a ton of energy in the discard pile. How many are there? There's 14, plus we've steamed up. Let's Surging Flames here. This should take a knockout. I don't know the maths, but it should be enough. 410, that is so close. That is genuinely really, really close to missing that knockout there, but we do get it. Fantastic. We take 3 prizes. We've got a powered Volcarona in the active, and to be brutally honest, I don't know what our opponent can realistically do about this. If our hand remains the same, which is a gamble, I know they are playing Marnie, even an expanded I could get Marnie out of this hand, but I have Guzma, I have energy, and I have a myriad of ways to discard fire energy, so I should be able to get a knockout on that Magcargo or the Oranguru on the bench, as long as everything remains the same, which you never know, it might not. This is the way that the game works. You just might not get to do it. That's just the way that it is, but hey, that's okay. I don't think that our opponent is going to be able to get there, though, because they had a hand of absolutely nothing last turn. They would need an insane turn here to put themselves even close to getting a win. And N is a pretty insane turn. That gets rid of the Guzma. Okay, that's worse than a Marnie, because N puts me to 1 prize. This is why N should be in standard format, because I'm being punished for my hubris. Being punished for going in and taking 5 prizes before I ought to have. And now I need to get pretty lucky. I mean, I do have 2 Zebstrikas, so I'm going to be looking at 10 cards here. 1 off of the end, 1 off of the top deck, and then 4 from each sprint. So, I mean, I am pretty likely to find that last Guzma. Oh my god. I don't even know if I'm accurate in saying that anymore, to be brutally honest. I don't think that I am quite likely to get it, because there's so many cards in the deck. This could very easily go wrong. Although, to be fair, again, they have not taken a prize yet, so I should just be able to sprint and get as many energy in the discard pile as I can. That Battle Compressor will help, because I can thin out the deck and increase my power, and put 3 energies into the discard pile. Let's sprint. Hopefully we just draw into the Guzma and we have the game. We don't. Okay, so I will Ultra Ball here. We're going to thin out. We're going to thin the deck because we don't want to draw into Pokemon. We definitely don't want that Zebstrika. Let's just throw that away. We can sprint that hand away. 4 more cards. Just give me the Guzma. We've got the Guzma. Oh, we've got a Battle Compressor as well. We can deal even more damage here, which is fantastic. Put 3 more into the pile. Then, how do I deal more damage? I don't think I really can. I mean, I could Guzma into a Zebstrika and then retreat, but why not just go straight for the Volcarona? We will Surging Flames, 220 damage, put all of those energies back into the deck, and I'll be taking my last prize. This is a very, very long animation. I'm not sure that I'm a big fan of it, but hey, we won, and that's the most important thing. So there you have it, a really cheap and definitely powerful expanded deck that you can pick up relatively easily on PTCGO. If you like that one and you want to see more expanded style content, then please leave a like down below. If we hit a 500 like target on this video, then I'll do another expanded video coming up very, very soon. I've also got the new trainer-based deck video coming up very, very soon. It's going to be based on Leon, so stick around for that one. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you have, leave a like, do all that kind of good stuff, and I will see you next time for more from the Sableyes. Bye.